The materials used for this lesson were provided by a curriculum we bought called CPUP. So it's the textbooks and the microscopes and the cell slides, everything was prepped already. So it's a CPUP curriculum out of Stanford University, which I kind of use, I don't use only. So it's kind of a balance of curriculum and my own thing. And then using Google Classroom a lot were probably the main sources of curriculum, the handouts and everything. Well, these materials are provided to us, which is nice, coming from the school I was at before. But I believe our school leader got the materials because it's an investigation approach to science. So all the activities and the materials that go with the activities are students diving in first, inquiry-based, and then kind of formulating their own understanding, and then going back and reviewing like these terms like protists and microbes and stuff after students have had a chance to kind of play around and investigate on their own. So I think that was the choice behind getting the CPUP curriculum. As far as Chromebooks and one-to-ones and Google Classroom, there's a big push for moving everything digital. So I found a really good balance between Google Classroom and using digital Google Drive, Google Apps for Ed, and then the actual notebook, and still having like handwritten notebooks, because I really believe in, science being out in the field and having the ability to take notes and all of that. So it's a constant balance that I haven't really quite perfected between pre-made curriculum, technology, and then keeping the handwriting and the notes in the notebook. So. I love the notebooks, and it sounds really nerdy and weird. It's an avid strategy I've learned from a long time ago that I've just used every year in science, and it's just a really good way to get kids organized and like page numbers and table of contents, and like I said, the ability to be out in the field and taking notes and data and looking back at your data and trying to interpret from your own handwriting kind of thing. So I have a real passion for like keeping that and not really necessarily moving digital for that, but I see the benefits for my own sanity using digital and Google Drive, just having docs and locations in one location, having students build skills that they'll actually need, like that I wish I had before I went to college. And then the CPUP curriculum, just having materials anytime a teacher has microscopes or slides it's a huge relief to have stuff that kids can actually do science with. So. Yeah, I mean, it's constantly changing every year, like how they're being used. So I had struggled with the materials in the beginning, like feeling obligated to use them because they're here and we spent money. So, but I'm kind of realizing if it doesn't make sense, don't do it, and don't feel this pressure, because sometimes it's a lot of setup and it's a lot of procedural, like going over with expectations with students. It takes a lot of time. So sometimes you feel obligation to devote more time to these lessons with this curriculum. But I'm trying to find a balance of picking and choosing when to use it and when to move quickly through things. So, I mean, the decision to use things in class are solely for like what skills are these helping you kids develop, and I think that's just always at the forefront. And for me, because I have taught high school, and I have done student teaching in elementary, and there's always like, why didn't they get this before, or why, so for me it's always like, what are students really going to need to be successful in high school biology? What are they going to need to be successful in college, while still engaging with the content and the materials? So that's why I like the notebook and Google Apps for Ed, because it's just, they're going to need it. They're going to need these skills now. So we kind of push them really hard in the first semester on, just like I said, the routines and using them, and then they really start to benefit from them in the second semester. So. You're going to use it. You're going to use this in the workforce. Like, no matter what you do, if you're an artist, a scientist, like, you need to communicate well. This is the format to communicate. You're going to need to edit your writing, edit your note. I mean, I just feel like these are the tools that are used in the real world, and their teachers are using them. And so I feel like they see, like, we live what we preach. Like, you need to be using Google Classroom and sending appropriate emails. Well, we're doing the same thing. And so we're emailing feedback. We're hyperlinking documents and rubrics. And so, like, everything we're asking the students to do, we do ourselves. And I think that helps it make more sense to them. Like, this is relevant. Like, our teachers are doing this. This is how the school functions. So I think they see that, and I think they get it.